It's a common question posed by many. What does it really take to build a successful global empire? Is it stubbornness, risk-taking, or having a clear vision that no obstacle whatsoever will blind? In the case of Nike, it was all of them and even more. From a car trunk business to becoming the largest sportswear company in the world, the Nike story is one marked by hard work, imagination, and deft marketing. How did one man, Phil Knight, turn an ordinary idea into an empire worth billions? Let us navigate through the amazing story of Nike and the people behind it. It is the early 1960s and the running shoe market in the US has reached a standstill. Athletes had no choice but to make do with stale European brands which were not only expensive, but also did not offer anything new. This was the perfect storm for Phil Knight, who was an athletics fanatic and an ambitious entrepreneur with itchy feet. While pursuing his MBA in Stanford, Knight got a very simple but bold one: high-quality, cheap running shoes from Japan to the US. In 1964, Knight, along with his track coach Bill Bowerman, established Blue Ribbon Sports BRS. With only $1,000 that he got from his father, Knight began selling running shoes made by Japanese company Onitsuka Tiger. However, this wasn't a movie-like beginning. With endless competition on the circuits, Knight keenly prospected athletes from his car, moving from one track meet to the other to market his shoes. His partner Bowerman helped in design by trying to come up with different designs of shoes in an effort to make better and lighter shoes for the runners. They did not know that this would soon grow into something so big. By the late 1960s, BRS was profitable, but Phil Knight knew better than to put all his eggs in Onitsuka Tiger's basket. When things began to spin out of control with their deal in 1971, Knight acted. It was high time he established a brand of his own. Nonetheless, every successful company requires a brand name and a logo. Subsequently, Lord Knight developed a brand concept that embraced his love for running and evoked the name of the Greek goddess of victory, which represented his aspirations. The name connoted swiftness, success, and strength, the three characteristic features which Knight wished his brand to portray. And along the name came the designing of a logo, which was a swoosh connoting motion and speed. The logo was designed by a student named Carolyn Davidson, and it cost Knight only $35 to have it drawn for him. He was not very impressed at first, but that swoosh would eventually be known as one of the most recognized graphics in the history of mankind. At Nike, invention was never merely an expression. It was what the company was founded upon. Bowerman, who was a visionary himself, was always modifying shoes. One day he was making breakfast and in the process decided to pour some sustained rubber in a waffle iron for a funny purpose of making a shoe sole out of it. That worked out to be the invention of the waffle sole, which was light in weight and flexible in design that enhanced performance and grip. This innovative technology was an advantage to Nike. The shoes were not only practical, but fashionable as well, and they catered to both sports people and those not into sport. The waffle trainer that was released in the 1970s was a great hit and helped establish the designers. Nike as an industry innovator. Nike was not merely focused on making footwear, it was more concerned about narration. Very early in the business, Knight appreciated the need to reach out to the athletes. One of the earliest endorsements made by Nike was of runner Steve Prefontaine, a fast-running, sociable guy who was feared and loved by many thanks to his competitive nature. Steve Prefontaine's audacity fit perfectly well into the brand values attributed to Nike, making it easier for them to retain him as their friend. In selling Prefontaine, Nike was not simply selling shoes, it was selling ideals. Like many of the best reasons for tragedy, this only served to heighten his legend, and there was no lowering of the profile that Nike enjoyed of associating with him, as he was able to give the brand a nationwide presence. Among all its collaborations, Nike's most significant one came about, which would in turn catapult the brand and change the different facets of sports and fashion globally. In 1984, the erstwhile sneaker manufacturer signed on a rookie basketball player by the name of Michael Jordan. At that time, Jordan was not the household name he is today, and neither was Nike the undefeated champion of basketball. But the partnership turned out to be the greatest marketing strategy ever executed. The launch of the Air Jordan 1 sneakers was a revolution in the sneaker industry. No, it was not just a shoe, it was an attitude. The shoes made use of bright tints, futuristic innovations, and vigorous advertisements which catapulted the Air Jordan series into the realm of society. The NBA even went so far as to issue a ban on the shoes due to their uniform infringement. However, Nike harnessed the uproar, thus birthed the phrase, "The NBA did not want them, you did." The Air Jordan series helped rake in profit of millions and cemented Nike's name among the top sportswear producers. Today, Jordan brand is a brand in its own right, worth billions, showing how strong this relationship was and still is. Catchphrases are often used broadly, and Nike's catchphrase is probably the best known, "Just do it." Introduced in 1988, the knee-jerk phrase inspired an audacious spirit of determination and perseverance that could only be matched by achievement. It was not limited to sports, but rather to life as a whole. The ad agency Whedon plus Kennedy also came up with an example using different famous athletes of the group, stretching from marathon runners to weightlifters, with a clear aim to encourage audiences' limits extension. This slogan was effective, and therefore it worked in favor of Nike, and the company became known to many people. Act Nike over time transformed from just a slogan to being a lifestyle accepted by millions across the globe. With expansions in sales also came many growing ambitions for Nike. The firm did not only focus on making more sneakers, but also diversified its line of products to clothing, bags, and equipment. But it was not only moving outwards vertically that was of interest to Nike, as more advanced features were utilized. In the early 2000s, there was a unique association between Nike and Apple that led to the release of Nike Plus, a system that enabled runners to keep track of their workout with the help of an external device. Such innovations that combined sports and technology transgressed the boundaries of the competition and attracted younger users who were oriented towards technology on the part of Nike. Nike pursued potential endorsements also among the ranks of worldwide celebrities, such as Serena Williams, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Tiger Woods, to name a few. However, these deals were not only for the sake of advertisement, but to build a tradition. Nike history isn't all glossy photos and marketing campaigns. In the United States, the 90s, the company was accused of employing child labor and using great many overseas factories in a very insensible way. The allegations concerning terrible working habits and slavery gave Nike a bad reputation. He got the blame instead of sweeping the problem under the carpet. Strict labor regulations and transparent practices were adopted by Nike, which also sought to improve conditions in its factories. It was not an easy period, however. It showed that the company was capable of facing, and more importantly, overcoming challenges to business as usual. Sustainability has become an essential element of Nike's operations in recent years. The company kicked off its Move to Zero campaign, which is designed to minimize carbon footprint and waste produced by the company. Starting from incorporating recycled materials into products and building energy-efficient factories, Nike is redefining the boundaries of eco-consciousness. Nike is more than just a company. It has become a global cultural icon. By launching campaigns that deal with global causes such as racial inequality, gender discrimination, and mental health issues, Nike has managed to transcend beyond mere profitability. It has become a vehicle for change. This is quite evident in how Nike is unafraid to champion or be part of causes like Colin Kaepernick's fight against racial injustice or empowering women in sports. So today we can say that Nike is worth over $190 billion. Hence, it is the most valuable apparel athletic brand in the globe. From sports professionals to ordinary consumers, most people wear the brand. But really beyond figures, it's the adventurous spirit, the resilience, the empowerment vested on people that remains Nike's push factor to millions. Nike has come a long way since it first started from the trunk of a car, and its story is proof of the power of passion and determination. Phil Knight's vision was not only to create a business, it was to create something that would last forever. And he did it. So what lessons should we take from this history of Nike? That even the biggest ambitions start from somewhere small. And where there is determination, creativity, and boldness, anything can be achieved. Which aspect from the journey of Nike marked you to the extent that you cannot forget about it? Please comment on the section below, and remember to like, share, and subscribe for more great tales.